Today we're going to do the setup of an 8-stall and 10-stall restroom trailer. First we're going to start with, you back the trailer up in the position you're going to put it at, and then from there you unhook the trailer, you drop the trailer. Once you drop the trailer, the next thing you want to do is you want to pull the truck up, like so. The purpose of pulling the truck up is so you can level the trailer. So the next thing you want to do is get a level. Always make sure you have a level when setting the trailer up. The next thing you want to do is take your level and set it flat. Never set the level here. Always set the level here or any other flat surface, but never set the level here. What you're paying attention to whenever you're looking at the level is you want to look at the center bubble. Is what matters. You want the center bubble in between the two black lines. Okay, at this point the trailer is too high on the front end. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jack it down to get it level so the center bubble is between the two black lines. Here we go. Okay, now if you can see, the bubble is centered the lines. Okay, at that point in time I know the trailer is level. Alright, then you want to come around here just to make sure you're on the safe side and look at the trailer. Look at it to see if maybe you have a bad level. Just look at it to see it's a little bit too high or whatnot, to make sure that you're good. Okay, from that point what you want to do is put your jacks down. Okay, the jacks help stabilize the trailer. You'll have jacks in the front, you'll have jacks in the back of the trailer. So at this point in time we're going to put our jacks down. Everything that you need will be in the compartment door of your trailers. Your water hoses will be in here. Sometimes your power cords will be in here. Other times the power cords is in another location, which we will show you. Your pads for your jacks will be in here. Everything that you'll need will be in this compartment right here upon setup. Today we have everything setting out, which is the water hose and the pads. Okay. Now we're going to grab the pads. It is important to use pads because you don't know what the surface is. This surface is asphalt, so you would be okay with no pads. But most surfaces are not asphalt. So what you want to do is grab a few pads. Always pay attention to how many pads you have. Take and set your pad down. Set your pad down. The next thing you want to do is you want to pull the pin, put the pin back in, like so. You want to make sure that this is centered, this, and then we start jacking. Okay, at this point in time, you stop, you take your level. Remember, you're focusing on the two center bubbles. You set it there. Okay, this is telling me that the front end is tilted this way. So I need to bring the jack up. Then I go to this jack, pull the pin. Now if you noticed, this chain is around this, the lever. You always want to make sure the chain's around this so that when you're driving down the highway, it's not dangling on the ground. Sometimes it can be very difficult to pull this pin with this chain on here. Goes down. Now, this situation, I've got so much to work off of as far as the length here. So now what I'm going to do pin out. And I put the pin back in. I jack down. Now, you get your level. You come around. Now it's time to do the back. 2 pads. You lay your pad down. You lay your pad down. Pull your pin. Put the pin in. Make sure it's good and square and it's centered. You got your level setting right here. Notice that on the back, I have the level here. There's nothing in the center to put the level. So you have to put the level here, and then when you jack that side, which is the opposite side, you also have to put the level over there. So let's get started. Now, it didn't require much. All I needed to do was just get it stable. Now, if you noticed also, as I'm jacking, you always stop your jack handle going down. It's just a look, you want things to look good. Okay. At this point in time, you're done with your level. The next step is pulling the steps out, the arms, and the doors. So let's get started with pulling the steps out. Satellite Suites trailers have pins you have to pull the steps out. So let's start with pulling a pin. Here, you'll see there's a pin that holds the steps in. There's a lever on the back. You see that? If you pull the lever out, and the steps will come out. So you pull the steps out all the way. You pull this piece up. As you pull this piece up, you have this piece. What you want to do is pull this piece up, leave it at a 90 degree. Watch your fingers here. Put your hand here, and you pull it flat. From that point, you want to open this up like so. Now, if you'll come around to here, you will see as a jack, take this, push it down. Okay, like so here. Push it down. Pull that down. Now, it's good and stable. From that point, you want to pull your pin, reinsert it back into the hole. Let's do the same over here. If you noticed, there's the pin. Pull the pin, and this step will pull out like so. From that point, pull it all the way out. Remember the steps. Pull that up, pull this out, grab it here, take it over. Do not put your hands here. Put a hand here, like so. From that point, you'll come here. You have 2 jacks for this jack. Now, this case, if you notice, so the jack hit, okay? So because the jack hit the way the ground is, we're going to try this one first. That one worked fine. Okay. Then we'll pull. Now, so what we'll do here is we'll try like so. Click it in. From that point, pull the step down. It's good to go. Take here. You'll open the door. The rail. Sorry. Okay. From that point, everything is ready to move forward with the powering process. The front doors are locked, so let's unlock them. All keys to these trailers are all magnetized to your boxes. Always put them back there. Never, ever put them anywhere else. I've got the keys. Let's go unlock the front doors. Now, sometimes these trailers could sit for a while, and this can be hard to lock and unlock. So this may not be the case, but just wanted to make you aware. So we put the key in, we turn it. Perfect. Let's do it again over here. We put the key in, turn it to the right, pull the key out. Perfect. Now we'll put the key back to here. Now, the next step is your tire covers. This step is very important because we are worried about an overall look of how this trailer looks when it's set up, okay? This trailer has 2 axles, and so it'll get 2 tire covers. 1, 2. So let's go around to the front and let's put the tire covers on. Now, these tire covers are designed to cover up these tires. So if your tire cover is dirty, then you're defeating the purpose of covering the tire. Now, once you get this cover on, you want to make it look good, nice and straight. Nice and straight. The next step is going to be water. Okay. If your water hose will be inside your box. Okay. I have the water hose setting out now, but it would be inside the box. If you do not have to fill this tank up with water, if there's water on the property, all you need is a water hose. Okay. The water hose connection to the 8 and 10 stalls is right here. And you'll see where it's labeled on these freshwater connection. You take, you undo, and right underneath here is the connector to the water hose. So let's connect that up. You're always best to unroll your water hose all the way out, then connect. Once connected, close this back down. From this point, you'll take this water hose to your water spigot, tie it on, and you'll cut the water on. From that point, you're done with the water if you're connected to a water spigot. If you're not connecting it to a water spigot, let me back up. Inside, you see all these valves, okay? If you're connecting this to a water spigot, and if you're not filling this tank up, you will come here where it says tank fill. That valve stays off. You'll come here where it says city supply, and you'll cut that valve on. That valve will cut on if you're hooking up to a spigot. You'll take and cut the pump supply off, pump supply off. If you're hooking up to a spigot that the homeowner has on the property. If there's no water on the property and you have to fill this tank up, you will not hook the water up down there. You will cut the pump 2 on, the pump 1 on. You'll take tank fill, you'll cut tank fill on, you'll cut city supply off. From that point, at the top of this tank, there's an opening. You take your hose that you're filling it with, you put your hose down in that tank, and you start filling the tank up. And you always make sure this valve is cut off. This valve will dump all the water out of here. So because we have a spigot on the property, we're not filling the tank up. So next, close the door. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is power. Power is very important. And what I want to show you is, you'll see 2 AC units on top. That gets 2 power cords. If you have 1 AC unit on top, that gets 1 power cord. Okay? Now let's come in and look at in the box over here, the side door. You'll notice in the side door, 1, 2, 3, 4. This gives a breakdown of everything. You have in one, you have the main, converter, woman's heater, woman's AC. Obviously, we won't cut on any of the woman's heater. Okay, so we know we're going to cut 1 on. 2, main service water heater. Unless we needed the water heater, we're not cutting 2 on. 3, main, men's heater, men's AC. We're going to use 3. 4, main, service room heat, waste tank heat, waste tank heat. We do not need any of this. So, therefore, we're going to cut 1 on and we're going to cut 3 on. Okay, the next step is getting the power cords. So we get the keys. Here's the cords. Okay, from there we go here. We unlock. You can see power cords. We go here. We unlock. This is our connectors. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to get 1 and 2 cords out. What we want to do is pull our cords like so. The important thing is to pay attention. You see the turn, a slot, and a slot. Come through the hole. Now what did we say? We said we're going to go into 1, which is 1. Now I see the slot. I'm looking at the slot. Okay. That's 1. That's just 3. What did we say? We said we were going into 1 and 3. Once connected, take this, turn this down. From that point in time, you take a key, lock 1 lock. Lock 1 lock. Lock 1 lock. Okay. We've got everything hooked up. Now, let's go to our power. We're going to power to this generator. But we're going to plug up to a 110, okay? You would plug up to a 110 in a house, same way. Each cord requires 20 amps a piece. You cannot plug them together. You would trip the breaker because of the AC units. They have to be on separate breakers, each cord, okay? So I'm going to fire this generator up, and we're going to plug into the plug. From that point, we should have power. Okay, we have our plugs. We're plugged in. From that point, let's go to our breakers right inside. Remember, 1. So we want to cut main on, converter, the lady's AC. From there we want to go. Remember we said 3. The main, not the men's heater, the men's AC. Okay, from that point, take your knob from the off to the on position. From that point, put your service light on, Porch light on, men's light, women's lights. Women's fan, men's fan. Also, your radio can cut on from that point, and you can play the radio inside at any type of music you would like for the event. Now let's step inside. Once you're inside, you want to check the AC, which the AC is running well, and adjust it accordingly to whatever that you need. These vents will blow out here, or you can cut these off and the vents will blow out the side. You just open them up like so. There's one on each side, just like that. Now, this is the man's fan. Just take and open the man's fan up. Cut it on to check it, make sure it works. Then cut it back off. The toilets. From this point, we check the toilets to make sure they're good condition. The toilet paper is good. We would check this toilet the same way. Check the urinals. Each urinal, push to make sure that there's water coming out of each urinal. Come to your sink. Step back some. Make sure that there's water coming out of the sinks. Check your soap to make sure your soap is good. Check your paper towels to make sure your paper towels are good. You would do the same on this side. Everything in this trailer looks good. Let's go to the other side. Okay, on this side, we're going to check the stalls. The exact same thing that we just did prior. Check all of your toilets to make sure everything's flushing properly. Put your toilet seats back down. Check your trash bin for the ladies to make sure nothing got left in there. Check your toilet paper. From here, you do the same. You do the same in every toilet. You do the same. Then, like so, check your AC. I'm going to open the side vents up, like so. Now, then I'm going to my fan. Open my vent up. Check. It works good. You cut this back off, leaving this up, and let the customer cut the vent on if needed. From there, you check your water. Stand back, please. Check your water by pushing it down. Let it run until it stops running. Check your soap. Check your paper towels. Once you have checked all of those things, you're good to go. Let's step outside. From this point, this trailer is set up. It's done, 100%. From that point, you'll check to make sure if there's any flaws on the outside. Maybe the steps are dirty, need to be wiped down. Maybe there's a dirty toilet inside need to be cleaned that you may have missed. Maybe your cover is dirty. We want these trailers looking fantastic and very presentable. It's very important. Another thing to check is up here. As you drive down the road, you get bugs up here. So once you get to your destination, you may have to wash or clean bugs off of this. So you want to make sure you bring the proper things with you that you need to clean this, which would be a small ladder and anything else to be able to remove bugs as you have driven. Okay, we're good to go. The next video will be breakdown of an 8 to 10 stall trailer.